Hey, welcome back to Two Super Guys Trade Stocks. I am Dylan.
And I'm Vinny, and today we're talking about something near and dear to fans of this channel, something that you're going to know from the thumbnail, but Dylan doesn't know anything about yet. So we'll get to see his real live reaction to learning this bit of news.
I have a new baby and have not paid attention at all.
Two Super Guys Trade Stocks.
You
So,
should let your baby trade, honestly. It'd probably have better returns than us.
I mean, if you look at my day trading returns this last week, it's as if the baby's trading. You could argue that it's not doing well. Now you said patron saint, so Burry is in this.
Yeah, Burry's involved. Yep, right here.
Oh, all right,
Yep.
sweet.
Uh, Remember when he talked about how China was cheap? Well, at best, apparently he put his money where his mouth is in
Oh
this
man,
most recent
I'm gonna
quarterly
buy
filing.
so much.
Well, we got a 13F filing out today. And if you look up top here, BABA, JD are two positions that he added in this last quarter. This is as of December
Oh
31st,
man.
2022. He bought a couple other companies, BKI and Cohere. These were two I'd never heard of before, so I got a couple of slides on those. But pretty wild and interesting. This is the kind of the tweet what I'm referring to, where he's talking about how cheap China was at that time. And like I said, he really did follow through, and that he didn't really believe in the political drama, and that he just saw value and bought into it, which is kind of what our stupid guy investment thesis was in Alibaba as well.
Except we were way too early and at a worse multiple.
Yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely. Hey, actually, I have a $95 put right now on Baba in one account to try to buy back my shares. So I think it's working out okay for me. It's coming back towards me a little bit. It's like 103 right now, right? So this was another tweet he had put out of the actual Hang Seng Index, kind of showing that it was back to price levels that I hadn't seen in like 20 years almost. That's pretty ridiculous when you think about it from like a discount perspective, right?
oh, for sure. I think I'm at 240 shares. I think my cost is 118.
Okay, you're
120,
not
118.
not far off. Yeah. So, this quarterly filing right here is right around that. Well, December 31st, 2022 is when he actually had to file this as an effect. So we did actually have quite a big rip in Baba's shares thereafter. We don't know if he still owns it at this point, but, I've kind of come back down. But, it's still interesting to learn that he actually did buy into China stocks.
So do we buy just an absolute shit ton now?
Yeah, that's pretty much how I think it works, right?
I'm pretty
Good
sure that's
luck
how
with
it
that.
works.
Yeah. JD, another company he bought actually also had this pretty big rip, and they've actually come down below where they were at the end of the quarter. So even more so, kind of in terms of a discount compared to where Michael Burry was holding it. If that means anything to you, then that's kind of your own decision to make. So I wanted to look at these other two companies that he bought as well. This Black Knight Inc. So they provide software for kind of mortgages and maintenance thereof. I don't really, at first kind of glance here, see anything that looks extremely compelling to me. I really still don't understand the Michael Burry stock selection criteria. He does tend to stay in a lot of these smaller companies. This is only got a $9 billion market cap for, it's always amazing to me. You see his portfolio come out compared to other kind of big names, and he's always trading in companies you've never heard of before, whereas the other big names are almost always in stuff you've heard of on a regular basis.
Oh,
But
actually,
this,
that's another thing. We also have an Activision video up, and unfortunately, we filmed the video before we got Buffett stuff, but Buffett lowered his Activision stake. Also, should throw that in there.
yeah, it's good to know. So this kind of BKI corporation here, the analysts really hate it. Downgraded it in the last like three kind of movements on it as far as analyst ratings is downgrading. It does have like this kind of little wedge forming here, according to Finviz. It did look like it broke out of that, so whatever that's worth to you.
So it
Yeah.
has to do with mortgages?
So yeah, it's a mortgage software provider for mortgage maintenance, things like that.
I feel
I
like
know.
we should find a stock on defaults of mortgages. Somehow that benefiting a stock.
Well, that's that Alta Source portfolio solution, which I owned for a period of time, and I did actually make a nice hefty profit on that one and close that trade out.
There you go.
But yeah, that's something worth revisiting, maybe doing a deep dive on it. So this other company here is actually kind of interesting in that they're not profitable at this point, but they're kind of predicted to switch to cash flow positive and profitable, like in a very abrupt manner, where you're talking about, a negative PE of 70, but a forward PE of 12. It's pretty,
Jeez.
yeah. So there's going to be some news here that is worth probably diving into and finding out a little bit more about this company. But this is aerospace technology company, basically. I don't even think I
That's an
included the ticker.
insane jump. That's disgusting.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's
I don't know
interesting. I
about
mean,
that.
you have to really know the industry and the kind of what's cutting edge technology in that area in order to be able to kind of make sense of it. I think this is called it's CHR Cohere is the name of this company. This one the analysts actually do like a little bit more, so had a lot more positive movement as far as like analyst kind of research goes there. But it's definitely a news driven coherent corp. Sorry, COHR
They,
is their ticker.
I think, and you can definitely take my word on this, they're the ones that made the 5 objects that we just blew up in like the last 4 days. I'm pretty sure. 99%. You can quote me.
Yeah, there is a check. Maybe that's what Burry's actually betting on, that he's an alien and they're coming back to get him, but he knows that there's going to be like a need for laser weapons in the near future. So
That's
it's
it,
possible.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah, I like it. Two stupid guys talk stocks and trade sci-fi stories. But yeah, I don't know if you want to go to the chart a little bit. We could take a peek at what the market action was today, because it's kind of a big news day with CPI numbers coming out too, and didn't do what I thought it would do.
So the CPI numbers, once again, sorry guys, I got a kid all of a sudden. Um, I looked at them a little bit. There's an article out on I think New York Times, and basically it showed what we were expecting, but in the fine details, it's not great news. It's not solid news for the economy or inflation. Um, you can see we came out real. This is the Qs, the Nasdaq, by the way. We came out real heavy, and they just came all the way back down and slowly grinded up. Now, this was kind of a low volume. No, decent volume. It's slightly above average volume day. I wonder what the SPY did.
You're hiding the volume bar behind you.
Oh, that's kind of important. Um, this tells us nothing. This is just a big ass doji, right? We can't really learn anything from this. So
Yeah,
I have no idea where we're going from here. I do still think that we're going to retest this area. Um, I don't think after reading the report that it was great news. I don't understand how it's good news. So,
yeah.
but
That
I
was
think
my
that
thought
fits,
as
right?
well.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
it can
exactly.
stay
That
irrational for longer than we can stay solvent, right? Which
exactly.
definitely happening.
Yeah, it's been pretty funny. So I've been watching that Figuring Out Money channel daily. He puts out a stock market analysis thing in terms of market trades and trends, and he's definitely like talking about it, flashing warning signs of being kind of a little overextended, but has yet to like really make a major move. And we have a huge news story coming like this. Yeah, the VIX collapsed like 7%, but like the market was kind of like whipsawing back and forth and didn't really do anything. There's another interesting trend that I want to talk about and do a little bit more deep dive. I don't know if you've heard about the 0 day like options and how like it's maybe having a significant influence upon like the market trading this year, because it's a kind of a newer thing to have 0 day options every day of the week now.
I, I just, you would have to think that retail traders are doing that and not so much hedge funds, right? Well, I guess that's not a fair assumption. I
Yeah,
feel like that is not evidence enough to explain the multiple that we're at. I think we're just here because people don't want the market to tank. By the way, this is UVXY. It's a measure of the VIX. It's just down for a very long time.
yeah,
So,
fascinating. That's all I can say. I don't know.
oh boy. All right. Well, give us a like and subscribe, dudes. Burry and Baba, that's just the sexiest thing in one sentence I've ever heard. I'm gonna buy an uncomfortable amount of shares, completely unfounded. I mean it's the same it's the same fundamentals, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna drop another 5 grand. So yeah,
perfect. I love it. Before earnings too. They have earnings coming out soon.
Burry and Burry we trust, bro. Except for
Yeah,
the times he's
exactly.
wrong, which is like half.
Catch you guys in the next one.